Welcome to another Film Room Breakdown. I'm Lawrence Owen, and today we're going to break down the Indianapolis Colts' best kept secret. That's right, Kenny Moore II. That cornerback for the Colts, man, slot corner, excellent corner. Now you're going to ask, why is he a best kept secret? I mean, everybody who's a Colts fan knows who he is. That's true. But people outside of Indianapolis, people who don't follow the Colts consistently, have no idea, right? I mean, you may not follow the New England Patriots really, really well, but you know who Gilmore is. You know, you may not follow certain teams, but you know who their best players are. And if you're a Colt fan, you know one of our best players is Kenny Moore. But other teams don't know this. So to give you a little breakdown, Kenny Moore is basically the Indianapolis Colts slot corner. Okay, he can play outside, but his best position is in the slot. And he's not a very big guy. He's 5'9", 185 pounds. He's 25 years old. He came out in 2017 as an undrafted free agent, picked up by none other than Bill Belichick for the New England Patriots, right? And even though he had an incredible training camp and a very, very strong showing in that preseason that year, New England's known for having really good depth at corner there in New England, so they had to let him go. Even Bill Belichick afterwards said, I didn't like letting him go, but you got to do what you got to do, right? Well, the Colts picked him up immediately. Now, Kenny Moore is a slot corner, as I said. And in 2017, he fought for that rock to be a starter. Didn't get the starter position, but played well enough so that the following year, in 2018, he did end up becoming one of those guys who played a lot of downs for the Indianapolis Colts and had a breakout season. Absolute fantastic season. Healthy the whole year, played his heart out, actually earned a massive contract extension. And when I say a massive contract extension, I mean he earned a contract that made him the highest paid slot corner in the NFL. Yeah, the highest paid slot corner. Not the highest paid corner, but still, at his position, at what he does, and he earned it. And we're going to get to that film room in just a second. But I want to talk to you about this past year. This past year, he still played very well, but he didn't play to what he could because he dealt with injuries for most of the season. In week 5 against Kansas City, about 3/4 of the way through the game, he ended up hurting his knee, which he ended up dealing with for the rest of the season, all the way up until week 13, where he rolled his ankle, and then next thing you know, he's done for the season. That's right. He got thrown out of the game. Not thrown out, but missed the game in week 5, and then missed the last 4 games of the season. Now, in 2018, we're going to look at those stats, some of his advanced metrics that he had, reason why he earned that top contract. Well, let's look at it, shall we? At the slot position, the amount of slot snaps that he'd taken in 2018 was 53.7% of his snaps he took at the slot position, which was 7th best in the NFL. Right? Wow. That means he plays slot a lot. But while he was on the field, he was targeted 20% of the time. That means 1 out of 5 passes was thrown in his direction. Remember that. That gave him 20th. That ranked 20th of all cornerbacks while he was on the field. It's because no one knew who he was, so they threw the ball at him. Remember that. Because that's going to come in big here shortly. Yards allowed. Out of all cornerbacks in the NFL, he only gave up 535 yards. 35.7 yards a game, which was good for 27th best corner in the NFL. Well, how many yards per target did he give up? 6.4, which is good for 16th in the NFL. Yards per reception, 9.6. That's 4th best in the NFL of all corners. How many touchdowns did he give up? 1. That was tied for 4th in the NFL. Oh, by the way, he ended up with 3 picks as opposed to 1 touchdown. Now, another question. Well, how many fantasy points did he give up? You got a lot of fantasy players out there. How many fantasy points did he give up in 2018 when he was so healthy? And he earned that big contract. Well, per snap, 0.28, which was 8th best. Per target, 1.4, 7th best. Yeah. Fantasy points per game, he only gave up 7.7 fantasy points per game, which was 17th best corner in the NFL. We're not done. No. What about passer rating? That's the big question. What was quarterback's passer ratings when targeted at Kenny Moore in 2018? 73.3. That was the 7th best of all corners in the NFL. How many times was he burnt? How many times did a wide receiver get at least 5 yards separation from Kenny Moore when he's healthy? Never. Not once. Best in the NFL. Never got burnt a single time when he was fully healthy. Now, I'm not saying that Kenny is the best corner in the NFL. I'm not even saying he's the best nickel corner in the NFL. Okay? There's some really good nickel corners out there. But Kenny is a very, very solid player. And even though he does what he lacks physically, he more than makes up in other aspects of his game. And we're going to get to that right now. All right, so in this first clip, we're going to go over something that I argue with people over a lot. A lot of people want to go, well, he's not that good because he doesn't have the stats to show it. Where's his 5, 6, 7 interceptions? Where's all these tackles, these passes, defense? The best stat that a quarterback can have is no stats. And the reason why I say this is because if you are good enough on your receiver, a quarterback will not want to throw in your direction. If you're plastered on a receiver, they're not going to throw your way, which means there's going to be no stats for your plays. So keep that in mind. And here is a prime example of why he was not thrown to on this play. Let's go ahead and watch the play, then we'll break it down. We got Kenny Moore right here going up against a receiver here on the Chargers. Look at the size difference. Big dude versus little dude. Let's watch. Did you see that? He didn't throw in his direction at all, did he? Now, what's going to happen here is something that happens quite a bit. All right. Receivers use picks. If they see a body on the field, they're going to try to maneuver. If it's anywhere within their route vicinity, they're going to try to maneuver to try to get separation from their corner, from their coverage guy. And this receiver does exactly that because you got big old Justin Houston here is going to fake going in, then come back into coverage. And the receiver's going to see that, and he's going to try to use him. And watch what Kenny does, right? It's actually pretty impressive. All right, here we go. And you can see Clayton here moving up. He steps back. There he's up. Nice tight. First off, if you noticed, He had nice tight coverage. As soon as he cut, he cuts. Now the receiver's seeing two guys in front of him. What's he going to do? You see how he turned to go right towards Houston? Now, still tight covers. Quarterback's not going to throw at him. Then at the last second, he cuts in front of Houston to try to get more off of him. And instead of more cutting with him, he goes to the outside. Why is that? I'll tell you why that is. First off, right here, right now, if Rivers decided to throw to the receiver, at this point, if he caught it, Moore would easily be able to come up and tackle him. And he'd only get just to right here, right? He wouldn't get much yardage at all, if any. He'd get maybe a 3-yard gain. A good chance of keeping him from the first down marker, right? But if he had followed him around the way he went, this would have been a pitch, catch, and run, because this guy is coming out this way. If you watch, you see what I'm saying? How he closed in on him real quick? Had he followed him around this way, this would have been a pitch, catch, and he would have just took off downfield, had a lot of extra yards. Instead, he went the outside direction, the smart direction, and then closed in just in case the pass went that way. Even if he'd thrown the ball at this point, he would have been able to reach in and knock that ball out. Instead, Rivers had to go to a different direction. Very good decision making, very good field awareness. The fact that Moore was able to see Houston in his way, knew what the receiver was doing, and make the correct call at an instant on what to do to adjust his coverage on that receiver, goes to show that's a point in his little pocket here that he can hold on to, because he knows what he needs to do when a receiver tries to use another player on a pick. Now on this play, we have a big formation. It's Kansas City Week 5. This is the game that he ends up getting hurt on with his knee injury. However, right here, as you see, he's actually playing outside corner at this point. He's playing out here. He's going to be covering whoever's on the outside. And right now, that's Travis Kelce. Now, as you see, as we go ahead and play, you'll notice that Travis Kelce goes into motion, which means now Kenny has to move up, and now he covers this guy, 42, I believe is his number. And what's going to happen is this guy is going to do, again, he's going to use this guy as someone to get separation. He's going to cut inside, and Mahomes is going to see that he's open at first. He's going to throw to him, but watch how quickly Moore not only recovers the distance that was separated, but is also able to make a play on the football. Let's watch this play. Oh my goodness. Let's go down here. Here we are. You see him. He's moving. He's open. He throws. Oh, got in there. Got the hand in. That was gorgeous. Now, going back. Let's go into slow-mo. Right there. Again, you noticed he did not follow him inside. He went outside. Same reason. Just in case he catches the football, it's not a catch and run. He still got position to make the tackle. And there's a reason for that, right? That's exactly what Matt Eberflus wants. He doesn't mind when it comes to this kind of coverage. He wants his guys, fine. If they're going to make a catch, make sure you're in a position to tackle no matter what. And that's what Kenny Moore's doing here. He's making sure that he's not following him, but at an angle to where he'll be able to make the tackle if it happens. Now, he runs this drag route across the 30 here. Mahomes sees him at the last second, switches off, throws to him, and then Moore closes in. Let's move over here to where he closes in and does that. That is beautiful. His closing speed is great on this play. Great. Takes off. You see, he's got 4 yards on him. Look how quickly he's it's a low ball. Now, this was a beautiful throw by Patrick Mahomes. Beautiful throw. Look where he throws this football. Down low. Low to where only you figure only he can catch this football. But look, right as the ball gets there, he comes in, reaches that arm in. Moore does. Reaches that arm in to make sure he cannot catch and pull that ball up to his body. And what happens is it knocks the ball completely out. It comes up right into Bobby Okeriki's hand. Now, this play was called an interception. It was overturned later on. But still, the play of Kenny Moore on this was absolutely fantastic. Great coverage on a larger receiver. This is a tight end. A guy that your small guys shouldn't be able to cover because the tight ends have a bigger body, right? And they can kind of block him out. But Moore was able to reach out and around because of the position that he put himself in when the ball was snapped in the first place. Great coverage by Kenny Moore. Another trait that Kenny Moore is very exceptional at is blitzing. And he's used that quite a bit. Matt Eberflus has used that quite a bit in order to get extra pressure on quarterbacks, especially over the last couple years because they were not able to get pressure on the quarterbacks after certain injuries and stuff. And the fact that they couldn't get that pressure off from the 3-tech consistently. So they use Kenny Moore on blitzes often. And he has a lot of good things that he does when he decides to blitz, when it's his job to get after the quarterback. Let's watch this and then we'll break it down. There's Kenny right here. Oh, timing. Oh, got him. Oh my goodness. That was beautiful. Let's go back to that. Now, first off, as you see, he's lined up. He's covering, right? It looks like he's lined up man to man. You got guy out here, he's getting ready to cover him. You got a guy out here who's covering. He's lined up. It looks like he's covering. This does not look like a blitz at all. He's hiding it perfectly. Now, I'm going to run this in normal time because watch how much time there is between the point where he shows it. Waits, steps back. Boom. Did you see that? How quickly from the point he shows blitz. Right now, he's cutting in right now to show blitz, timing it perfectly. Bam, and gone. Now, that shows good timing for snap count. He timed the snap great. Mahomes was not expecting him to come in. Now, he's still lined up. Look at this. You got the left tackle one-on-one. He's giving up probably twice his body weight right now to this left tackle. Twice his body weight. But something that this left tackle doesn't have, Kenny Moore's agility. Watch what he does here. Watch how he just cuts outside, ducks. Look how low he got below him. Oh my goodness. That's a pass rush move. Look at that. Ducks way down. Looks like he's falling, right? Looks like he's got a leg way up here. He's all off balance. And somehow, this tackle ends up on the ground behind him because he's got him all kind of messed up. That poor left tackle, man, he's just all sorts of out of wax. He can't believe he just got showboated by a nickel corner. And now he's got a free run right at Mahomes. And does he and this is Mahomes, obviously. Mahomes knows how to move around in a pocket. He steps up, tries to get away from him, but Moore hooks that hand. Right? Kenny Moore hooked that hand. And you're going to see it. Here he comes. Watch it. Oh, he's down on the ground. He comes around. He hooks that hand right there on that hip and just twists him down. Bam. Mahomes goes down for a sack. That is beautiful. Beautiful all the way. You couldn't ask for a better technique out of a pass rushing outside linebacker or defensive end. All right. That is beautiful pass rush technique. And it's coming from a cornerback. Yes, he's a little dude, but he knows how to bring people down. He's an excellent tackler, and he's got the agility to make the moves that's needed. This is why Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator, uses him from time to time to blitz the quarterback. Beautifully done. You're still here? Awesome. Thanks for watching this stream. Please, if you have a moment of your time, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you're notified next time I go live. And if you got a few extra seconds, hit that description down there below the video and check out all the places that you can follow me, whether it be Sportscaster here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and there's a couple places where you can help donate to my channel. That way I can continue to bring all this content to you. Thank you for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. All right. Now, remember earlier when I said that Kenny Moore practices hard, right? And this is exactly the benefits of practicing hard. A lot of interceptions come out of tip drills. And a lot of people will be like, well, a tipped interception is more like being in the right place at the right time, and that has a lot to do with luck. But frankly, when you practice tip drills, you start to understand where other players are at and where the best place to be to get an interception is. And Kenny shows that knowledge right here. Let's watch the play. Multiple people is going to be in this play right here. We got, obviously, Malik Hooker. We're going to have Darius Leonard in this play. Way up here at the top where you see, that's Marvell Tell. And then, of course, Kenny Moore. This is a deep zone where all the players are going to drop back about 10 yards. Or at least the coverage guys. Then the safeties are going to be dropping another 5 or 10 yards deeper. They're going to allow the catch in front. At least that's the idea. But definitely come up and make the tackle. Let's watch the play as it unfolds. Steps back. Throws the football. Bam, bam, boom. Got it. Gone. Now remember, it's all the way on the outside. So just keep an eye. See him coming around the top. Throws it. Oh, beautifully done. Nice little return. Trying to follow some blockers. They finally caught him. Great job by Kenny. Now, let's break this play down. First off, you got Kenny. It looks like man-to-man, right? You got a guy on him. He's on him. He's on him. Looks like man-to-man coverage. Then, instantaneously, all the defenders, look at that. They all back up way back here, right? I mean, underneath, Mason Rudolph could have threw underneath here and probably could have picked up some yardage. Not a lot, obviously, because you got a lot of defenders right at the 40, which is at, 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. But he throws this football. Now, Kenny is watching the ball. You see his eyes back, watching him throw the football. Right here's the football. And he's watching. He's watching. He's watching. Everybody back here is watching this football. And what Kenny does now is as that ball's thrown, he knows he's got Tell over the top. He's got Leonard coming up underneath the middle. You see how he completely bypasses. He knows this is a ball that's thrown a little high. So since Tell is coming up to make the tackle, he's going to come around behind him in the area where the ball is thrown, in the trajectory. and he's watching the whole time. And it falls right into his lap because of the tip drill. Because he's seen this multiple times. Multiple times he's watched this. High ball thrown. You see Leonard here. Tell's coming up. And Moore is just coming around the outside edge. It's tipped. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. He knew that Hooker is over here in case it got tipped that way. He took this corner in case it got tipped right behind on the trajectory of the football, which it did. And he just followed the ball and caught it before it hit the ground. And then knew what to do with it immediately after. So did Hooker. Hooker takes off. Excellent block. Look at that. Excellent block by Hooker right there just to get him. Moore broke out. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. This play happens simply because Kenny Moore practices really hard, especially on tip drills, and knows where he needs to be in certain situations on a tip drill. Great job. Now here is just an absolute fantastic play by Kenny Moore. Sometimes when you play against really good scrambling quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, you need to have a quarterback spy. And unless you have very, very fast linebackers, now the Colts do have fast linebackers, and generally you'll have a guy like Bobby Okereke or Darius Leonard be that quarterback spy in case they take off and run the football. But in this time, they changed that up. In this instance, it looks to me as though Kenny Moore is this quarterback spy. He's a small guy and he's smart as heck. He knows how to use his disadvantage to his own advantage, right? Let's watch the play and see how this actually turns out. Kenny Moore's right here. This ball is going to go to Fuller right here. He's going to come over, take a little route up the top, and Kenny's obviously going to step up, but let's watch. Oh, what a pick. What an interception. Let's watch this from the quarterback standpoint. There's Kenny. That was just beautiful. Now, what we're going to do, as I said earlier, that ball snapped. You notice how he steps right up into the pocket, right? He steps right up behind this whole wash right here. Real close. Because you got some big old bodies, right? Huge bodies blocking. And he's a small guy. You see how his knees are all bent and he's kind of squatted down? He's keeping an eye on Deshaun Watson, but trying to hide himself at the same time. Watching, making sure if he takes off, he's able to take off after him wherever he goes. But as soon as he watches, as soon as he actually cocked back to throw the football, he was watching his eyes. He knows he's looking right at Fuller, right? Coming across the middle. This is an easy catch and run if Kenny Moore doesn't do something here. But instead, as soon as he cocks that arm, Moore starts backpedaling immediately. See him backpedal? And then he sees at the last second as he throws the football, instantaneously jumps up right into the path of that football. Looks like an easy completion to Fuller, but Watson never saw Moore behind that line. And he used that to his advantage. Great leaping ability here. I mean, he got up there, able to tip the ball up to himself and catch it. Beautifully done. Let's watch from this standpoint. You see him. Here's Kenny. He's got the ball. He fakes the handoff. You see how he runs right up behind the line. He's not able to see him. Kenny's watching really closely. Watching very, very closely. I think Leonard actually has the linebacker here, or the running back here, right? And he's watching. He gets all up close, watching. He cocked that football back and immediately starts to backpedal. Knows he's throwing in his direction. Steps up into that direction. Beautiful tip ball to himself for an easy interception. Man, sometimes you use your disadvantage, which is his size, to his own advantage. And that was beautifully done by him. And that's how you can get great plays by just using what you know can help you in certain situations. And Kenny does just that. Okay, so we went through a bunch of stuff that Kenny does so good. Now, there's a lot of stuff that he does very, very well. But one thing he has to always keep in mind is that he's at a size disadvantage 90% of the time. Even when he's playing at his position, especially when he's blitzing. When he's blitzing or in run support, he's got to remember he does not have the size and strength to take on a blocker head-on, one-on-one, squared up. He's got to be able to shift or adjust, make the blocker miss at the point of contact. Otherwise, he's going to be stonewalled every time. In this play, as we see, Kenny Moore is going to come in on a blitz on the outside, and he's right here, and he's going to end up being blocked out by him. Let's just watch the play, see what happens. It's pretty simple. Head on, didn't get in there, and because he wasn't able to get in there, he wasn't able to flush him out, as you see. And here's the snap. And he's just blocked out hardcore. Blocked out. There's nothing Kenny can do. He's got to remember before he makes contact, he either has to get them off balance or go in an angle to where he can't get both hands on him. One hand is fine, but never ever allow a blocker two hands on you. Whether that's run support, whether that's blitzing the quarterback. At this point, had he been able to get around him, he would have been a full sprint. Rivers wouldn't have been able to get away from him and throw this football. But because the tight end got both hands on him, he got stonewalled. He's generally pretty good at not allowing this because he knows that he's at that disadvantage. But it happens more often than I'd like to see. So that is exactly what I'd like to say about Kenny Moore. He is an absolute fantastic nickel corner in the NFL. He's great at coverage. He's great at hiding what he's doing. He's great at disappearing on the field, as you saw earlier. He's an excellent tackler, good blitzer. I think he's absolutely solid. One of the best nickel corners in the NFL, and yet no one knows about him. But that's okay. I understand that he wants to go to the Pro Bowl. I'd love to see him go to the Pro Bowl, but I think he wants to win more often. And the simple fact is if other teams and just keep sleeping on Moore because they don't know what we have in him, then they're going to underestimate him game in and game out. And that equals wins, because if you're underestimating your opponent, then the opponent is going to come out and surprise the heck out of you. Kenny Moore's one of those guys. So I want to thank everyone that watched me here on this film room breakdown of Kenny Moore II. Thank you so much. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe and share. Don't forget, check out underneath, in the description, so you can find out a way that you can actually help me long term by donating to my channel. Until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen with Colts Law film room breakdown of Kenny Moore. Have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.